My name is Jakes, and I am completely lost. I have absolutely no idea where I am. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Should have brought extra jet fuel. Stupid. What to do? Huh? Oh shit, wait, there's somebody there. Hello? Hi.
Hello. How we doing?
Not too good. I'm actually I'm a little lost, to be quite honest. Have you got any fuel for me? I'm completely out of jetpack fuel and I need to get it back home. Have you got anything that you can spare?
I got some stuff back at my little camp over here if you want to follow me.
Yeah, you take the lead, I'll follow.
There.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name's Tundra.
Tundra, Jakes.
What's yours?
Jakes, nice to meet. I wasn't aware there's another pioneer in the sector, to be quite honest. I'm quite happy I ran into you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just having some fun, cutting down some trees.
Yeah, busy, huh? Nice. Like the little setup you got here. Alright, have you got any fuel for me? Like, I don't know, biofuel, ionized would be perfect if you have.
I got some, I just got some solid biofuel and stuff here, unfortunately.
Solid biofuel and wood, is that about it?
That is it.
Okay, that's not gonna help me too much. Because I need to. I've got like so many things. I've got so many slugs, and I've got a couple of Mercer spheres I picked up. So I don't have a lot of inventory space. Do you have like, I don't know, anything better? Rocket fuel, even biofuel, anything like that?
That's going to be pretty costly. Yeah.
Okay, well, what are we talking about then? What do you mean costly?
Well, I got a major project if you want to help me with that, and we can do a little trade.
Okay, doesn't sound like I've got much of a choice. Sure. What's your time span on this major project?
It's a major project, day or two, maybe 3 tops.
Yes. Okay. It's not too far, is it?
No, it's just down the hill over here.
Yeah, this is not much of a choice. I mean, it sounds like a fair deal. You know what? Sure, let's do it. This is your car,
Very fair.
obviously.
Yep.
Right, I'm just going to jump on the back. Welcome to today's episode where we will be helping out Tundra from Whitestone Industries in building a battery factory. We'll be building this in the CRATER world, and Tundra will be using Satisfactory calculator to port this into his current save. Let's go. Right, so today we are going to be doing a battery factory, is that correct?
Yep.
All right.
A little better factory.
So you've tasked me to do the design, and you're going to be my little helper. Is that, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. Right, the criteria is, as per the rules of your world, is 5 stations per train station, and we need 5 train stations here. That's why we've laid it out as it is now. All right, so you're happy with this layout? Huh? This is going to work for you.
Yeah, this works just fine for me.
And I was thinking, for the battery factory, all we need to do is just place down a certain amount of manufacturers, and then bring in whatever resources, which is why we've got the trains here. And all those resources will be coming in from the trains and just go up to the manufacturers, and they'll pump out the batteries. That's about the gist of it, right?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna mark out the framework for the logistics floor, and if you don't mind filling it out with the concrete floors, that will be perfect. This is going fairly quick.
Ah,
Yeah.
ah. You got 2 people doing a factory, it goes.
And both of them like logistics. The final product, is that going to be one of the train stations, I assume?
Yeah, it'd probably be easiest to do the closest one.
Yeah, okay, we can do that.
Like, because it's right below. It's right
It's
there.
right below. All right,
And
so
yeah, you're coming out on the perfect set.
it's
as
actually
well.
right here.
That's perfect.
So we want to do the corner bit here because it's going to look nice. There we go. Right, but what we also want to do is we want to put the lines and then paint it in here. But if you see here, there's like a half one here, and the thing is, you can't paint half ones for whatever reason. You can't paint these ones, like you see now. I'm trying to, but it's not letting me. So if you want to put up the corner here, but now I want to paint this one, but the only one I can paint is the full foundation, not the half ones. So you're gonna have to put a full one in here. Now, what I usually do is, in this case, the easiest way is going to be, let's just push it to the side, and then you can just paint that one, and it's going to overlap with this one, but that's fine. But sometimes you don't have the luxury of putting a full one in on this side, and for whatever reason, you're going to have to put it on this side. But if we do this now, you can have Z fighting, obviously. So let me just do it in coated concrete. So you can see there's the problem. That's the issue. Now, how do you resolve this?
Yeah.
The one way that I do it, there are other ways of doing it, but this is what works for me. Is I grab any kind of pillar. I usually just go with a metal pillar, and you can just like put it halfway in there, in between both of them. I then go and I grab a catwalk, particularly this one, and if you look closely, you can see you can move it quite freely up and down here. And what you want to do is you want to move it down, and just until it's like 1 or 2 pixels below the one that you don't want it to clip into. So right about there. And obviously, if you take your time, you can get very, very close. So if we grab this one, then now you can snap it to the edge of the catwalk and just nudge it into position. So we want it. So for whatever reason, we have to put it like this now. So it's halfway into. Let it go up. It's halfway into the other one, and because you're slightly below, you won't see. There's no Z fighting because it's not competing. It's not on the same plane. So if I now remove these and I paint it, there you go. No Z fighting. Now you probably know this, but I get a lot of questions every now and then, like why doesn't it compete, or why do you do that? But then obviously, if you take your time, then this little gap right here is so small you can hardly see it. Like now it's a little visible because I'm not taking my time, but that's pretty much how you would do it. But in this case, we don't need to because we can just move it this way.
Oh, of course. Over here, got pulling out the fancy stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, coming along together.
Yeah, I thought I'll do like a little outlook area here, just to give this area, this face, a little bit more character. Otherwise, it was getting a little bland.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll quickly do this. Shouldn't take too long to do this. That is very red. There's no mistake that that's red.
Let's fade it out a little bit. Oh, you expanded the beam out a bit.
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, that red is a bit less harsh.
I think it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a bit more muted.
Yeah. It's not quite as hurting.
Shockingly red. Yeah. It's like in your face red. Okay. Oh, it's definitely looking interesting from afar if you go out a little bit. So that's more what you had in mind with the walkways, right? Something like that.
Just about, yeah.
Okay.
It's working. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of downlighting and don't want to, block it all with another floor.
That's good. It's good. It's good. I was just wondering what the hell is that noise, and because I'm not used to these guys. It's these kind of like colorful the small, I don't know what you call these ones. This guy.
They have a name.
They don't have a name. Ugly bastard name. Because he was just making the weirdest sound. I was like, what the hell is that? Like he was doing that. I was like, what? I don't know what he's spewing there.
Yeah, they're pretty harmless though, like the bean.
He's got a cold. That's probably why. Yeah, he's sneezing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right.
Yeah, he's having a good old time.
He's having a great old time. Right, let's go have a look at this build we did for Tundra, Watchstone Industries. So what he does for his factories, he's got a separate train station for each supply that's required, both going in and out of the factory. So he also color codes his train stations just to make it easy for identification, which I think is a very good idea. So like for instance, this one would be sulfur, and obviously yellow, sulfur, and yeah, makes sense. So in this one, we're doing a little collaboration on his battery factory. So the factory itself, from a factory point of view, it's a fairly simplistic factory. And all it is just a bunch of manufacturers making batteries, the classic batteries. Alright, so let's go have a look at the actual factory. So since these geonodes are here, obviously we are going to be tapping them. There's going to be 2 of them, as you can see. And the idea we had here was to do something under a roof, but then have some sort of walkway so you don't have to fly around here. Obviously, according to my style, you need to be able to walk everywhere, which is why these walkways is made here. And I think at the end of the day, these walkways turned out quite nice. It gives it a nice like industrial feel and look as well. And then especially with the downlights as well being a slight orange tint to it, it also gives off that industrial vibe. So let's go have a walk here. Then this little plant here, obviously this rock piece was in the way. So instead of building around it or just closing it up, turn it into a feature. And we've got this little one bacon plant up there, which brings a little bit of a light contrast to it. So that's cool. Alright, from here we've got light controls for these lights. If we go through here, then you've actually got to the manufacturer part. So this will be the service side of it, where if you need to do some maintenance on the machines for whatever reason, you'll use this entrance here. This is a bit of an observation deck. So you've got the same story on the other side with the office, but here you can just kind of like look out over the background vistas and perpetual fog that's going to be over the ocean. So obviously we are in the blue crater, as you can see. And he chose this for his world due to the sulfur location and just the train location as well. So there's going to be a couple of train stations, or a couple of trains coming in here, obviously, which is why we have that many train stations. Alright, so again, like I say, fairly simple affair. We've got the manufacturers plonked down here, both sides. These are identical, and then they feed down into a point over there, and then you've got this little display conveyor belt just showing the product, and you can do like a little visual inspection of the quality of the product. Alright, moving into the office, all of the belts will come through here before it goes to the train stations to be exported to the rest of the world, and you just got a simple belt counter, or what do you call these things again? A conveyor throughput monitor. There we go. Nice little fancy name. Yeah, so this will just give you a good idea of what the factory is actually doing. And if you pop in here quickly and you want to see if everything is running smoothly, you can just come and check this number, and then you'll see, okay, well, I'm expecting so many X amount and I'm getting X amount. So that's great. This section here Tundra did, which I think is actually quite nice. So we've got this red theme going throughout the entire factory, and originally it was going to be just this one section. So originally it was just going to be the red on the outside. Would have been the only one. Then he thought, no, the red outside looks good, but the red inside looks a bit off. So he added another wall segment, and we just did it concrete, and this actually came out quite nice. I like it. Then also to fit his world a bit better, we've had all of these red lights or red neon strips being added to the world. So let's step outside quickly. So originally I did this design right here just to give this little observation point like just some decoration, and also just to draw the eye, to give it like a focal point where it will draw the eye, and it just adds a little bit more color into it. Otherwise it would have been quite bleak, because this area already has like a little bit of a desaturated filter, and then all of these or the lack of the red light would just, I don't know, made it a bit dull, to be quite honest. So that's there to just to make it look interesting and just to make it pop a little bit more. And then of course this purple kind of light in here, just to highlight that wall section, is also just there to add a bit more contrast color wise at least. And on this side you guys see the same story. And all this is just literally, you just grab a beam from a point over there and you just put it to a point there, and then all you need to do is just equally down, you just move down. And all I did was, as you can see here, it's basically half a beam, half a pillar rather. So that one goes in there, then you drag it all the way over there and just hook it into one point, and then come back, grab another point here, and then make sure that it hits the same point. And if you do this continuously, you'll get this kind of like cool, almost said spiral effect, but you get this kind of like cool visual effect, I suppose. And then just a couple of windows looking into the logistics area below. And then obviously coming back to the train station, we've got these red lines continuing down for those support beams, and then wrapping around the entire building to kind of just round it off essentially. So this section right here is mostly from Tundra himself. He made the roof section here. I added a little bit of decoration just to finish it off. And here we can see him sitting here having a very nice little coffee break. Enjoy that coffee. I'll continue the tour. You do your thing. And yeah, just so I wanted to add some definition to the roof instead of just having a flat roof that's just going to be boring. So we'll do kind of like this V, like a very kind of like open V formation, and that corresponds with the manufacturers on the inside. So the top of the manufacturers kind of like pokes into the roof. And initially we had this all flat, but seeing that there was a bit of a gap, I kind of like dropped it down just to, you know, make it look more interesting. That's pretty much all it is. Right, and then coming to the front here, we initially didn't really have an idea of what to do with the roof section here, but to continue the theme of kind of like this metal pillar going all the way around, we did this, or I did this section right here, and kind of like settled on like this claw effect going around, or like a bracket going around and just hooking back up. And then just to make it a bit more believable from a structural point of view, we added this bottom section here just to kind of like fortify it. Otherwise it would have looked a bit floaty platformy, like if there was nothing on the bottom supporting this, like almost like a hand reaching around pulling the train stations up, or at least keeping them up. And then this section right here, it's kind of like framework. This is all Tundra. You showed me how you did that. It was kind of cool to see. And basically all it is, I'll show you guys quickly, is if you, let's see if I can replicate what he did. So if you take these out, he did it via a big pillar. So you kind of like put it right there. And then the next one, you just kind of have to work out what corner it needs to get to. So you want it to get right on that corner. And obviously if you keep it the same, you can then have this at the bottom. And we want to go vertical actually. So let's delete this one. And you just go up. Well, it seems like I have to build one first and then I'll do. So just add these in, and I think he did it a little bit more efficiently than I did, but the method remains the same. And you just put these on here, and then if you did the corners correct, these should line up fairly nicely. So just with a little bit of practice, you can actually get the corners to look pretty decent. And if you want to go with this kind of like wireframe support network, that's a great idea of doing it. It's quite fast, it's quite easy to do, and you can do it over any kind of curve that you might need in your world. So doing curves on train stations, especially now, is a little difficult because you can't really plan it ahead, because the curves might be different depending on where you are and what the curve looks like. So doing it manual like that, it's kind of cool, but then doing it as quick as he did with that method, that's even better. So same story going around, and we just have these little supporting arms coming out, and that's all just for a bit more of a realistic take on it. And all that happens now is the train stations will, or the trains will drop off their goods and will get cycled through, and then will either get pulled into the train station or will get pulled out of the train station. Now this is kind of something that he does, which I think is kind of unique. What it does is, so in this case, the excess sulfur from the front there will come through and then filter into the train station, whatever doesn't get used up on the manufacturer side. And then once it fills to this one station, instead of now teeing it off and just filling up all the other ones as well, or just overfilling one and not using all the other train stations or the storage areas, he just has them funneled in through all of these. So once it gets to the front, this will fill up, and then once this one's filled up, obviously we'll back up to this one will fill up, and then we'll back up to this one, and this will fill up, and so on and so on. So in this way you can actually have all the train cars fill up, and you can use these as your buffers going forward for good. So with his method, this works quite well. If you have a smaller train station, then maybe a buffer would be beneficial. But doing it like this is kind of a cool way of just essentially teeing off from each storage area and then just filling up the train stations and making sure that eventually, if enough time is allowed, all of these will fill up. So that's kind of cool, I like that. Alright, coming around this side is, at the moment obviously we're pulling power from these nodes, from these geo nodes, and nothing is actually going through sulfur wires. I just switched off all the machines. There's no way for them to go. But once this is in his world, it's actually quite easy just to paste it in there. And I think what I'll do is, in my next build, I'm going to be doing something similar to this, and I'll do a dedicated video on exactly how to copy and paste entire factories from one point to the other point. So you can in fact extract the factory, this factory from this creative world, and you can paste it into my world even if I want to. But obviously for this build, it goes into his world, and you can literally copy and paste it on the exact same location. But that's it, guys. This is, like I said, a fairly straightforward build. I'll quickly, just before we go, I'll show you down here. This is just feeding into the 4 manufacturers, and we've got a central belt that just feeds up to the manufacturers, and once they are done, it gets taken down here. It goes into this little display point, which goes up, and gets transported along the little inspection display area, and it pops out over here. You can see both manufacturers are being fed into the one point. It goes up from here to the office, and once it's done with the office, it goes out here, down here, and then down and into that train station. So all the batteries will go into this train station, and then from here we'll go into the rest of his world. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think that's cool. That came out quite nice, and yeah, I like it, and I trust he's quite happy with it, and that that this factory will be a nice little addition to his world. Alright guys, as usual, if you enjoy this kind of content and you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to have a chat, you can comment down below, or you can join my Discord and we can have a conversation there, where we can help you with some troubleshooting, spitballing ideas, or just exchanging free blueprints. And then obviously, again, thank you to my Patreons for your continuous support. I do appreciate that, and I will be updating the Patreons with some new exclusive blueprints and my world save as things change and as I develop new blueprints. So check out my Patreon if you want to see the exclusive blueprints there, or join my Discord and just grab a couple of free ones, both from myself and from the community. Alright everybody, have a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.